Okay, let's dive straight into First John chapter 4 for this deep dive. This chapter, uh, it really hits on two huge themes, doesn't it? Discerning truth from falsehood, which feels more relevant than ever, and, well, the nature of love itself. It's like John's trying to give us a way to navigate all the different spirits or influences out there. So right at the beginning of the chapter, what's the crucial starting point he gives us for figuring things out?
Well, what's striking immediately is the direct instruction. Test the spirits.
Hmm.
He's not saying just, feel it out. He's urging this active evaluation of claims, especially those claiming to be from God. And the test he gives is surprisingly specific. It's about acknowledging Jesus Christ having come in the flesh. That's the key marker for the Spirit of God versus what he calls the spirit of Antichrist. It seems aimed at early ideas that maybe downplayed Jesus' real physical humanity.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about general good feelings or, piety. It's very specific about Jesus' identity.
Exactly. And he connects that test immediately to the source of the message. He says, basically, those who belong to the world, well, they speak from the world's viewpoint and the world listens to them. Makes sense. But those from God speak from God's perspective, and importantly, those who know God listen to them.
Right. Like attracts, like you could say.
Pretty much. That's how he frames recognizing the spirit of truth versus the spirit of falsehood. Look at the source, look at the audience, based on that core test about Jesus.
Okay, that provides a clear framework. But then, almost jarringly, John pivots hard towards love. Why link that discernment piece so tightly with the command to love?
Yeah, that transition is key, and it really ties the whole chapter together. He moves right from testing spirits to, dear friends, let us love one another. And the reason is fundamental. Love originates from God. So anyone who genuinely loves shows they are born of God and, crucially, knows God. And the flip side is stark. If someone doesn't love, the text says they don't know God. Why? Because, and this is huge, God is love.
Not just something God does, but who God is.
Precisely. So true belief, validated by the truth about Jesus, has to result in embodying God's own nature, which is love.
And the text makes it clear this isn't just some abstract idea of love, right? It's shown.
Absolutely. It points directly to God's action. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. And John defines it even more sharply. This is love. Not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins.
The atoning sacrifice, meaning.
Essentially a sacrifice that resolves the problem of sin, that makes reconciliation possible between us and God. That initiating self-giving act is the definition of divine love here.
Wow. So if that's the standard, the love God showed us, what does the text say our response should be? How do we live that out?
Well, the logic flows directly from that divine action to our human interaction. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. And he makes it very practical, almost answering the question, how do I connect with this God I can't see? He says, yeah, no one's ever seen God. But if we love one another, these tangible people around us, then God lives in us. And his love is made complete or perfected in us through that action.
Made complete. Interesting.
Yeah, and this completed love is linked to confidence, casting out fear. Fear, he says, has to do with punishment. So someone living in fear hasn't fully grasped or isn't fully living in this love. We love, he sums up, because God first loved us. He even points out the sheer inconsistency of claiming to love the unseen God while hating a brother or sister you can see.
It really grounds everything in our relationships.
Definitely. It pulls divine truth right into everyday human connection.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on First John 4, we've seen these two pillars. Testing influences based on acknowledging Jesus, and this fundamental truth that God is love, compelling us to love each other. We touched on how God showed his love through Jesus' sacrifice, and how our love for others completes his love in us, driving out fear. So based only on this text we've explored, what's a final thought for our listeners to wrestle with?
Well, consider this point from the text. No one has ever actually seen God who is invisible. But the text also states very clearly that if we love one another, the visible people we interact with every day, then God lives in us and his love is brought to completion in us. So the question to ponder is, what does your tangible, observable act of loving the people you can see reveal about your real connection to the God you cannot see? Just something to think about.